Hi, good morning everybody, and welcome to another weekly video, Living with Alzheimer's. And I think this is video number 11. Wow. Now today I want to talk a little bit about the highs and the complicated bits, the lows, I suppose, really, of having dementia. Now one of the high things, or one of the great bits of last week was we went off to the clinic last Friday, this time last week, and we done our usual thing at the clinic of having the various blood tests and that sort of thing, and blood pressure tests and what have you, and actually at the clinic there we received some very positive news, some good news for the future, I think, and yeah, that left us leaving London with a pretty good high. Actually, it left us on a high. It was a good feeling to have some good positive news to go home with, and that sort of set us up for the weekend. That set us up for the wedding reception party that we had to go to on the Saturday. Now we were invited to the whole day thing as well, but we decided just to do the evening part, and yeah, I don't know whether it might have been better to do the day thing and not the evening, but hey, we picked that, and yeah, it was a pretty good party. We got there and there was lots of noise, like there is at parties, lots of music and things, and plenty of old faces and new faces. And there was also a little bit of a low time, a time where I find it difficult to understand why people treat people like me with dementia differently. Why people feel the need to somehow not talk down to us, but talk to us in a different manner. And I know that people don't mean to do this, and I know that it's not an intentional thing on their part. I think it's just lack of education. And over the last couple of months, I have tried to help people understand dementia from my point of view. And I think it's difficult still for people to get their minds around dementia. It is as though that when somebody has dementia, it is as though they have some sort of, I don't know, sign to say, you know, I have dementia, treat me differently. But that shouldn't be the case, and that shouldn't be how it is, and it isn't how it is. We are no real different in our goals and achievements and what we want to do. And I think at the party, one of the examples was that, I mean, somebody came up to me and they said, you know, hello, do you remember my name? Do you know who I am? Do you know who that is? And over the due course of the night, there was a few remarks like that. Now, they weren't meant as nasty remarks. They were just, people didn't really know how to communicate with me. And in actual fact, I think some people actually avoided me because I don't think they would really know how to talk to me. And I'm sure that other people who have dementia and carers will know exactly what I mean with this, and will have experienced this as well firsthand, as I do on a number of occasions. And I want today to somehow try and simplify that a little bit for people. Now, dementia, look at dementia in this way. Dementia is a very complicated disease, but it is surrounded by simplicity. Look at it that way. So you have dementia in the middle, which is the complicated disease, and the simplicity around the outside of it. Okay? Now, if you dealt with the simplicity, it makes the complicated stuff far less complicated. And I think what people tend to do is they look past this simple part around it, and they look straight at the complicated bit and try and work out the complicated stuff. And that doesn't really work. It doesn't help the person who's talking to me, doesn't help the people around me, and it doesn't help me. So I think one of the things is, instead of, to give you a little example, instead of somebody saying, you know, do you remember me, or do you know who that is, or do you remember this person, I think one of the best ways to do it would be, for argument's sake, doesn't, I don't know, Eddie look smart? Or my husband Tony said to me, come on Rita, we're going to be late. Something along those lines, so that at least there is some sort of connection, so that I can then relate to who I thought maybe it was, and then I will know. And by dealing with the simple part around dementia, by simplifying things, you uncomplicate everything, and it will make life, as I said earlier, a lot easier for the person with dementia, and it will make life a lot easier for you. And try not to talk to people like me any different than you would anybody else. Now, this is going to be a bizarre thing to say, but forget that somebody has got dementia like me, okay? Just talk to us as you would do a normal person. And I'm going to use the word normal, and I don't like using that, but that's the easiest way for people to try and understand. And as I said, over the time, these videos have been trying to sort of educate people. And sometimes somebody like me tries to become a voice for people who haven't got a voice. And sometimes somebody like me shouting in the dark on my own, that voice can get lost very easily. But if you try and help others to understand a problem or an issue, then they can go off and they also can become a voice, and many voices in the dark can be heard. So I think that it would be nice, in a way, over a period of time, to try and get people to understand a little bit about how dementia works. And I'm hoping that what I have now explained, and if people are now coming on to these videos, or if people are new to this sort of thing, then at least if you have an understanding of the messy, complicated bit, but the simple part around it, if you try and not look through that simple part into the complicated part, just stick to the outside, and the inside will sort of sort itself out a little bit. Okay, but apart from that, we did have a good time at the party, and you know what, it was nice to get out, and it's nice to see people, and it's nice to continue to be part of a community. It's nice to go out and leave my dementia at home. It's nice to get away from it. It's nice to be, dare I say, nice to be what I was and not so much of what I have become. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll see you again here next Friday and have a chat again. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Goodbye.